Hello campers, it's Friday and it's time for another edition of Bagpipes in the Barn. This week I want to speak about how to blow steady, and it's probably going to be a two-part thing. We're going to go through making sure your pipes, your bag's airtight, your joints are done correctly, your join reeds are set up properly, your valve is working correctly, and techniques for blowing the pipes steady. When you're actually blowing the pipes. So we'll look into all of that. When I first started doing this, I was asking people for things to do, topics. And one of them that came up is blowing steady, which I think is a really important subject, but I think it was something referring to my new product, which is the pitch guard. People seem to think it takes the place of learning how to blow steady. Well, it doesn't do any of that stuff. What it does is put a limit on the pressure you can apply to the reed, so that if you're in a band situation or if you're in a solo situation, whatever you're doing, if you find that the top hand is getting away from you, you can use it to stop the amount of pressure going through that will make it go sharp. Simple as that. It doesn't mean that you can't learn how to do it, it's just that in the meantime, whilst you're doing it, you can put a little cap on it. It also trains your ear a little bit as to how to do it. The other function of this is to cut off the sound to the chanter with this lever here. Now, it cuts the air off. It also means you can use it as a chanter cap. It keeps all the moisture within the warmth within the chanter there, so that they're closer to being where you want them to be when you open this valve back up again. Another point, you can turn the chanter off and learn how to tune the drones together. Now this sounds like a very basic thing, but it's very important when you're learning. Turn it off and start doing the drones. It's things like that. It's not designed to keep a steady note. So that's that. Okay, now this is quite a big subject with the blowing the pipes steady. And we have to start from the very basics, making sure the bag's airtight and the joints within the bag. So when you want to check the bag, this is I'll just put these to one side. I'll just take the drones out. Just a second. Yeah. Oh, be careful when doing this, because you don't knock the bridles or do anything that will alter or damage the reed. Now I've got some corks here somewhere, so I'm just going to cork up the bass drum, middle tenor and the outside. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn the valve off here. So we're going to blow it up to pressure. Once we've got it to a really good solid pressure on the bag, it should stay like that for quite a while. Just a minute, 2 minutes, whatever. But this is the most important thing to start with, is making sure that this thing's airtight. So yeah. You can hear how tight that is. There's nothing leaking. You need to check around if you hear something leaking. You check around your joints, check your blowpipe valve, that sort of thing. So if you do identify a leak, or think you know where one's coming from, you can just mix a bit of washing soap, very liquid, whatever, with a bit of water. Just kind of paint it around where you think it's coming, and it will produce big bubbles. And then, of course, we're not going to go into that section of things, but you're going to have to do whatever it takes to make it airtight. It's not taking any more air in, so just put that there. Of course, I didn't have to put a fourth one in because I've got the valve turned off on the chanter. Now, the next thing, once you know that's all good and fine and dandy, the next thing to do is to take a look at your joints here. Now, let me see that one. This is a joint I did about 3 years ago, or maybe 5, I don't know. Anyway, a long time ago. And it's all made out of black hemp, back waxed hemp, and it packs down like it's a solid piece of something. Obviously it's hemp, but I wouldn't know how to describe that, but it's solid and it doesn't move. It stays where you put it, and because of that you don't have to mess with it again. It's there. So if you live in a place that's kind of dry and hot, you know, and moist, dry in the winter, moist in the summer, you may want to just put a little bit of yellow hemp on it when it dries out, so that when it starts warming up again, you can just put it back to where it was, and you will know where the... If you put black on, obviously you're not going to find. So if you know where the yellow hemp is, you'll be able to just peel it off when the time comes. So that's the start of it. I think we're going to have to look at the next section next week, and we'll go into some other details of what you'll need to do in order to be able to blow a steady note. A few little things that you may find interesting and of use. Okay, see you next week.